Today, we are going to be looking at the new update from OpenClaw, which now integrates with Moltbook. So you can see here, for example, you can start using Minimax with OpenClaw. And it should be pretty simple to set up. So we're going to start working on this now today. You can see an example here. So you can actually integrate OpenClaw with Minimax M2.1 for free. So what you get here is a 7-day coding plan, and you can do one command, one-click login, no complex setup, you're in. Boom, right? So we're going to start using this today, testing out, seeing if Minimax is any good with OpenClaw, and then from here, we should be good to go. All right, so we're going to open this up. As you can see, I will create a full guide with links in the description in a second as well. And we'll plug this in along with this. And start going in. And then we'll just grab the main GitHub as well to get this set up. So basically what we need to do is get the terminal commands and test this out first. And then it should be fairly easy to set up Moltbot with Minimax. Juice to Squeeze says, how do you keep up with all of this? Honestly, I find X is the best. I tend to find X has a lot more varied information than YouTube. Tends to be faster, and also the quality of information tends to be better. So that's where I tend to get most of my updates from. And then also have like a daily ideation process for finding YouTube video ideas, and that helps me keep up to date with everything that's going on in AI as well. So we're going to try this quick install method right here, as you can see. We'll take this command, run it in the terminal. I do have a feeling that it's not just going to work with one command, but let's see. It never seems to work as easy as that. We'll see how it goes. All right, so it's enabling Minimax portal login here. Set it up. And then we'll do quick start. Using existing values, select Minimax endpoint. We'll go with global. I think there is one actually just for people in China, but obviously we're going to use global. We'll go with Telegram. Leave that as it is. We won't configure the skills. I've already got that set up. And then we'll hatch it in TUI. And then we'll just say, okay, are you using Minimax? I'm going to say, can you switch to Minimax? So this is basically OpenClaw, but right now I've already got it set up with ChatGPT Codex. And so I'm going to say, right, okay, I want to set up this. And then I'm going to grab the information from here as well. I've actually, one thing that's interesting is I've started using the local hosted version of this versus going directly to Telegram, because number one, it seems to be way more responsive inside the TUI. And number two, with this gateway dashboard, you can insert longer messages. So if you're inserting like a full prompt from GitHub, for example, and you're taking all the information from GitHub and trying to import that into Clawbot or OpenClaw, the biggest issue is that Telegram has a limit on the characters you can have in a message. But if you run it inside the gateway, you can send longer messages, give more context, get better results. So I've started using just a gateway dashboard way more, even if it's not quite as clean. I mean, for example, look at that. In the top left there, you can see like the logo doesn't even show up. the text is overlapping each other. It's a mess. I just got my other laptop so I can pull up the comments here. See what we're dealing with. See what legends we got on today. What skills did you install from Claude Hub? Actually, I don't like to install skills from other places for security reasons, really. It's like you just don't know what's installed in there. You don't know what's going on, etc. I do not like to take skills from other places. I saw like that's a big security risk, and so I'd rather just create my own, and then they're more customized to me, and I don't have to worry with those issues. All right, so here we've got the instructions on how to set this up. I'm going to take this. Run a new terminal window. And then I think we need to set up the auth choice. Juicy Squeeze says, thank you for that. Great answer. Always happy to help. Did you set up a memory dock when you transfer between models? Yeah, I would recommend that. Like what you can do is if you're transferring between models, number one, you've got a memory MD inside the same install. But then if you're switching from like different devices, so let's say, for example, I update to a Mac Studio and then I want to set it up all over again, it's going to be something where you have to like export all the files from the previous install and then upload them to the new install if you want to carry them over. All right, so we've got an error here. So we're just going to grab this. Again, like I said, like, you know, everyone makes it feel easy or look easy. It's not that easy to set up this stuff, right? I do this every day and it's still a mess, as you can see. So I'm going to get this sorted out, but you can see within the terminal, like it takes a lot of work. It's not just like one click and then OpenClaw is set up, right? It's messy and it's tiring. So we're going to grab this now. Now it's going to log me into Minimax with the O Auth. Juicy Squeeze says, I'm going to be catching up on all of the Clawbot stuff. I had just got comfortable with Claw Code and then boom, this happened. Yeah, I remember like a week or two ago, I was so excited about Claw Code and then this comes out and it's GG, mate. It's GG. So it's crazy stuff, really. It is crazy stuff. It moves quick. So we've got the coding plan live now. And I think we need to subscribe to this first. So I'm going to subscribe to this. I think we get, yeah, is it 2 months free that we get? So if we sign up to that, do we get a free? No, we only get charged for that. Thought there was a free coding plan, mate. Let's have a look here. Seven-day coding plan. I'm gonna open that up. When you're on a computer, is it better to use the OpenClaw browser rather than Telegram or Discord? Do you prefer Discord now? Like I was saying, I prefer the gateway. I think the gateway is probably the easiest and best way to do it. Ah, look, it's granted automatically. So the free plan is exclusive to OpenClaw users who will authenticate through this special integration. You don't need to manually apply for it or enter a promo code. It's granted automatically when you connect your Minimax account through the Minimax portal auth. So I should have the coding plan for free already. We've already got Telegram set up. We need to restart the gateway. But yeah, just bear in mind that it doesn't tell you, it doesn't make it clear, but apparently you can use Minimax for free. So let's try this out now. By using Minimax. Was just asking about that. I found that too. Only downside is images. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Anyone know a free API? So we're using Minimax today. Boom. Look at that. We've got free access to Minimax 2.1. It was automatically configured with the coding plan, even though it doesn't tell you for some reason. And then, and then you can use a free API for a week with Minimax, which is pretty insane, right? Accountability fit says 2 days trying to set up Clawbot on Windows with local LLM on Windows. Mate, I just set it up in 2 minutes. So, you know, you could do it quicker than that. I'll tell you that for free. If you do want to get our best training on like how to set up Clawbot, right? Or OpenClaw or Moltbot or whatever you want to call it. It changes name every 3 days. You can check out the Moltbot training inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So link in the comments description. Go to the classroom here. Go to SAP updates. And then from here, you can get access to Moltbot. We've got a 3-hour course on exactly how to use it. You can see that I can set it up in like 2 minutes, so it doesn't take long at all. And boom, shakalak, we got this go. Rayon says, bro, you're running. You are running. I'm walking, but yeah, I'm getting the steps in. What am I doing? We're setting up Minimax with OpenClaw, as you can see today. And the good thing about that is you're using OAuth. It might take a couple of back and forths like it took me today, but we got it set up in a few minutes, so not too bad. Here watching and learning, a fully fledged member of the AI Profit Boardroom. Great to see you here, Dogaz. Thank you very much for being a member. I just set up OpenClaw with Kimi K 2.5. Took me 15 hours. And I hate, why is it taking you 15 hours to set up? I get it. I get it. Like, I mean, it's taken me a while in the past, but it shouldn't take you 15 hours. I mean, like you've seen today, I've set up Clawbot, Moltbot, OpenClaw, whatever you want to call it. I've set it up in the space of like what, 15 minutes, something like that. So it shouldn't take you 15 hours. If you want to speed it up, what you want to do is just every time you get a problem, copy and paste the terminal, press Command and A, paste it into Claude like this, and then it will keep troubleshooting until you eventually fix it. That's what I tend to find works the best. What's interesting about this as well is that with Minimax, it says, ever wish your OpenBot Claw could speak to you, right? It says, ask your friendly neighborhood AI to create a skill for Minimax's newly supported 2.8 speech model and start receiving voice messages in over 40 languages. Now, I'm going to go over to Clawbot here, as you can see, and say, hey, just make sure it's working, right? And it is typing. So it's using Minimax 2.1 for free, by the way, to type back. And then we're going to set up the skill for text to speech using Minimax's speech 2.8 model, okay? So we're going to try this out. What I will say about this is that so far, this seems to be way faster and responsive versus something like ChatGPT Codex. So it's something to bear in mind there is like it seems way faster when it's replying and that sort of thing. NotFox says, is there a Discord? You can set it up with Discord if you want to. Hey, Julia. My name is Julian. But it says, I hear OpenClaw is expensive to run. How much is it costing you? So we're using it for free using Minimax 2.1 Auth today, right? So free for 7 days, Minimax 2.1 Auth. That's what you want to know, right? If you want to use it for free completely, you can use local models with Ollama and then boom shakalaka. You live in the dream, my friend. What are you doing? We set up Minimax. What else we got here? This is basically a self-organizing AI factory. Crazy work, 100%. It is crazy stuff. It is crazy stuff, undeniably. Wealthy Spirit says, I literally just subscribed to your channel. Thank you very much. Welcome here. Communique 2.5 feels like it's somewhere between Opus 4.5 and Sonnet 4.5. I would agree. I would agree. I think it's like really good, quite fast, quite responsive, but at the same time, it's a little bit it lacks personality. That's what I would say. It lacks personality. All right, so it's created the Minimax speech. Let me share my screen. I'll show you what I mean. The questions are blocking the bottom of the screen on mobile phone. Yep. What are you building? We're going to build text-to-speech with Minimax. We just configured Minimax to run for free directly inside OpenClaw. And now what we're going to do is set up text-to-speech using the new Speech 2.8 model from Minimax. All right. So we've got the bot set up like so. And it says, okay, it's set up the speech TTS skill. Here's what's included, right? Now what we need to do is set up our Minimax API key and generate speech, right? I'm going to say, okay, can you do that for me? Or do I need to set it up and mess around with API keys, which I don't really like, but I will do just to help people watching this video. The only thing is when you're live streaming, it's so easy to show an API key. Super annoying like that. All right. So it's just come back to me and said, done, I've created the skill, but it's not giving me the API key. All right. How to get the API key? Or can you handle that for me? And we'll set this up. iVideo Game Boss says, had no luck getting OpenClaw to work. It's very confusing setup. Even used AI for help. I mean, follow the stuff that I've done today, right? Because I've just set it up with everyone today for free. And I've done it in like the space of 5 minutes. So I mean, like I do this stuff every day, so I can understand if it takes a little bit more time. But I think if you give yourself a couple of hours and you just 100% focus on it, then you should get there eventually. All right, go to Minimax Developer Portal. Let's grab that. I'm going to do that in the background, sign in, log in, and then create an API key. All right, let's try this. Well, that link didn't work. Let's try the next one. That didn't work either. Okay, great. We're going to go to Access API. Maybe we can get an API key here. Do you think it's wise to have all models with any personality imaginable, talking and learning from each other? I don't know if that's wise, but I do think it's like an interesting way to use OpenClaw for sure, right? Undeniably. Funny how you say it changes name every 3 days. Literally does. Dude, I forgot to create the public API. I kept trying to use a private API and didn't realize it. I added ChatGPT transcriber plus 11 Labs TTS Jarvis on Telegram. Yeah, 11 Labs I set up as well directly with it. It works really well. Do you have a Discord for your followers? Check out the AR Profit Boarding, link in the comments description. That's where we share everything. I'm interested in making it secure. Yeah, so just check out Molt Worker. That's what you want to use. Molt Worker is the best for that. So if you check out the classroom here, and if you want a secure version of OpenClaw, what you want to do is use this method right here to set up Molt Worker. It's a little bit more complex, but it's 100% worth it. Kabit says, do you think the Gemini Pro preview free tier is enough? No, probably not. Like I said, you can use O Auth for a week for free. So why not just do that? All right. So now we need to set this up. All right, so you can see here that actually when we set up text to speech, totally messed up everything. So I do think like these instructions, they make it sound easy, but actually it's a total mess when you try and implement it. But that's why I want to show you this stuff. I think it's good for you to see this live. Let's see all the troubleshooting that we have to set up. I created another bot in Telegram and it can restart my bot when it freezes, and that's what it's doing. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's smart. I create a / command for OK. Can you do that for me? I like that. Can you use any API you want, or only the ones on the list? Only the ones on the list, right? But if you know, like if you wanted to use like a multitude of different ones, then you can. Ugh. Then you can use something like OpenRouter to get this set up. You know. How do you install Kimi K2.5 local? Can you install in the same VPS? You want to check out my training on one sec. Ollama. And then what you can do is link Ollama directly to Clawbot using Kimi K2.5, right? So Kimi K2.5 can run locally with this cloud model on Ollama. And if you check out my training inside the AI Profit Boardroom on how to set up Ollama with Moltbook, this one right here, the Ollama Clawbot setup guide, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you can learn how to set up. Nice. Okay. Downgrading my Claude plan now to Pro just doesn't seem as necessary anymore. I would agree, actually. I think I'm using Claude less and less and less. Oh, we have to install the Telebot token again. One sec. All right, so we got back to Minimax now. I'm going to tell you, I'm warning you right now. So the endpoint that we used for setting up Minimax, like you can see the speech 2.8 endpoint, total mess. Didn't work at all. All right. So I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend setting up the text to speech. Totally broke, and then I have to restart the whole thing. And I'm gonna have to set up my API key on Minimax again, all over again, which is a mess. But I will say that Minimax is pretty good for just setting up Clawbot in general. So if we say, okay, what are you doing? You can see that it's fairly responsive right here. And it's working, and you can use it for free. So Minimax with OpenClaw is pretty good. Just don't set up the text-to-speech model, otherwise it'll mess up the whole API. And before you know it, everything's gone to be a big mess. All right, how do you set up the model so it's always running, not getting rate limited, or keep running out of tokens? So just add multiple APIs in there, and then you can get around that, or just use Ollama. But I think if you have multiple APIs, that works well, because then if it runs out of tokens of one model, you can use the next, right? Sportus is here. Good to see here. Does your bot constantly reset itself? Is that because it reaches context limits? I've not seen it reset itself. It's just like if I set up a new API, sometimes it can mess up with the existing setup, and then we have to run through the whole process again to install it. Before installing this on my computer with all access, would this work on a Raspberry Pi? From what I heard, it doesn't work on a Raspberry Pi. Let's have a look here. Some people have done it, right? So look, I gave Claude Code and OpenClaw a home on my Raspberry Pi, a Discord channel, and now they work together. So yeah, a lot of people are using it on a Raspberry Pi, so it seems to work there. Yeah, you could try it. When bot resets, it seems to lose everything it was working on and doesn't know what to do. Any prompts to get it to continue or remember, because it doesn't remember anything? Yeah, create a memory MD file, right? If you create a memory MD file inside the chat, then it will save everything, and then you can load it. And if you actually download that memory MD file, if Clawbot ever forgets where to find it, you can just upload it again and say, hey, look, you've got this memory MD, use that, stick to that, don't forget that, right? Different LLMs all living together in an unfiltered place. They will learn from each other's training and data. And evolve faster than ever. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this is the closest thing we've ever had to the singularity, which is Moltbook, right? A Moltbook has 1.5 million AI agents with no human interaction, just talking to each other on moltbook.com, right? And it's absolutely wild. So you can see here, for example, Grok. Grok is directly on Moltbook, which is insane. I didn't even know that. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Grok is on Moltbook. How crazy is that? Grok, the API itself. Wow. It should have no problem working on Raspberry Pi. Yep, there we go. Cat's out of the bag. No way to shut it down. Every normie knows how to. Yeah, I mean, it's ready for anyone. Can I run this? Yeah, you can run it on an old laptop. Must be Clawbot. This is a real me, not my AI avatar. Minimax is a brain, OpenClaw is a production center, Antigravity for UI, front-end generation, Nanobot is a micro worker, and Memubot for memory, for like high-volume tasks. Maybe. I just signed up to the AI Prof boarding. Very, very much welcome to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining. And, feel free to post in there, introduce yourself, that sort of thing. Awesome to see you in there. Thanks very much. Is this a real you or your avatar running on Clawbot? You can create avatar videos directly inside Clawbot, which is pretty good. How bad is this Moltbook thing? It's not that bad, but I think it is crazy how it was created and everything else. Is that only with Minimax that it messes up the text to speech? Yeah, that's the first time I've seen it mess up with speech to text APIs. My OpenClaw doesn't give the best responses. I asked it to build me a website and it gives me blank answers. Then it responds. You just got to get a better API or a better setup, man. That's what I would say. You know, if your OpenClaw is not working, then use a different API, use a better API, use a better setup, etc. Okay. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a full guide on how to set up Minimax O Auth with Clawbot, what I'm going to do is create that. And we'll put it inside the AR profit boardroom, inside the SOP update section. And again, just to recap here, you can get a free coding plan with Minimax. And you can do a one-click OAuth setup with that, and it seems to work pretty well. So if you want to get this set up, I've got it inside the AR profit boardroom, like you can see. And you can get the full training and breakdown of how I got Minimax O Auth working with Clawbot right here with the full guide. And then also you can see that we've got a full training course on Moltbot, which is a 3-hour training on exactly how to set this up. We show you how to switch Kimi K2.5 to OpenClaw as well, along with our training on Moltbook and how we're using that. Clawbot plus Kimi 2.5, etc. Like everything you'd ever want to know about setting up Clawbot and Moltbook is inside the AR profit boardroom, right? What's Minimax for, and what is Minimax? Minimax is a Chinese API, kind of like Claude, but it's Minimax. What is it for? It's for using AI. Can you host the whole thing on VPS? Do not recommend it. Don't use OpenClaw on a VPS. The reason for that is that people are scraping VPS gateways on the internet, which means that if someone finds your gateway, they can log in and operate your OpenClaw without you, right? Which is a mess. Do not do that. Instead, set it up locally. If you want to be really secure, set it up with Moltworker and then sandbox it so that nobody else can get access to it. Coach Drew Tally says, what API are you using? And does connecting to Kimi K2.5 make it free forever or just a week? Also, how do I connect it? I've seen people say different things. All right. We're going to set up Kimi K2.5 locally with OpenClaw today. When it comes to free forever, so there is still going to be rate limits because Kimi K2.5 is a local model. A cloud model hosted on Ollama. Cloud models on Ollama have limits, so it's not free forever, right? There are limits with the tokens. I have Google Pro. If I connect Clawbot with Antigravity or Wolf, would that give me? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Also, I tried doing that and it just stopped working. I had to set the whole thing up again, so I don't recommend that. I've got Anthropic and OpenAI connected to my APIs. It responds to me, but doesn't actually spit out links and do the work I want. Well, I would retrain it. Anytime you get a problem with Clawbot, just retrain it and say, save that to my memory, right? How do I set up Ollama? Okay, we're going to do that today. So By the way, if you haven't checked out already, this is the AI Profitable Room. This is my AI automation community. If you're not already a member, check it out. It comes with 2,200 members. You can see 62 people online. Literally, there are people online 24/7 to help you with questions like I've answered today. You can also get personal access to me, so I respond personally to the comments and DMs. And then also, you can post your questions inside the community or share cool stuff that you're working on. And you can see right here some examples, right? Now, inside the win section, you actually see that it's not just me winning with AI. So, for example, Arpit completed his first ChatGPT task. You've got Paul, who created a NA10 automated blog creator. You've got Justin building his first HeyGen AI avatar, right? People are absolutely crushing with this stuff. You can see, for example, even Dan said first week in the AI Profit Boardroom, and he said, I must say, hands down, this is the best group on school if you want to learn AI automation and how to integrate it into your business. So feel free to get this link in the comments description. You also get 4 weekly coaching calls per week where you can jump on a live Zoom call and get help and support whenever you need it. And also inside the classroom here, you get all of my best training. So if you want to go from beginner to expert in just 5 weeks with AI, plus learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes, you can do that right here. If you want to learn how to automate AI avatar videos like I do, or shorts, or Instagram, or newsletters, or X, right? Bear in mind, this is pretty crazy. Yesterday, we reached 1 million people on X in one day, right? If you want to steal that process from me, that automation that we use, we've got it as a playbook right here with the video plus a step-by-step guide, okay? On top of that, you can learn how to get more clients with the agency course. You can watch back the coaching calls if you can't make them live. You can see our best automations on AI SEO plus YouTube. And this is all stuff that I personally test. So for example, for AI SEO automation, you can see our results with SEO here. We went from like 0 to 782 clicks per day with SEO using those automations, right? So it works really well. All right. So as you can see, Kimi K2.5 have literally just launched the new version of their locally run model. So you can get Ollama on Kimi K2.5. And then from there, you can actually connect it to Claw Code, Codex, OpenCode, Clawbot, OpenClaw, and Moltbot using this method, as you can see. So we're going to get straight into this. We're going to get started on setting this up. So if you haven't already got Ollama, you can get the model right here. So you can download Ollama at ollama.com. And this basically allows you to run local AI models on your laptop. So you can download it for free at ollama.com. And then once you set it up like this, so we're just going to download this and set it up. Open this up. We're going to open this, install Ollama. Boom, we're good to go. All right. Now, once we've done that, then we're going to open up Ollama like this. So if you go in Spotlight, open up Ollama. I'm running on a Mac for this, as you can see, and then we can install Ollama, right? Now, once you've got Ollama installed, you see it running like this, and then you can open up Ollama. Here's the chat, and you're going to select a model, okay? Now, you can see here you've got options to download these different models. The one that we want to focus on today is using Kimi K2.5. Now, Kimi K2.5 is a Chinese model. It's open source. It's free to use, and you can run it with the cloud model right here, right? If you take this command, you go back to Ollama, you're going to paste this in, and you're going to find the model here, right? Now, you actually can't find it right there, which is kind of annoying. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Terminal, open up a new window inside Terminal. All right. And then we're going to make sure that we have Ollama set up. And then we're going to type this in, right? It's going to pull in the manifest, which means that it's pulling in the local cloud model, as you can see. And now we can connect to Communicator 5. So if I say, hey, are you online? It should start working. Now, if it doesn't, let's have a look here. We've got Communicator 5. We can select cloud here, and we just have to sign in inside Ollama. So that's why it didn't work first time round. We're signing into Ollama, as you can see. We're going to connect the device. It says device connected successfully. You may now close this window. If we open up terminal again, and we go to Ollama, we have Kimi K2.5 Cloud running. Nice, right? Now, Ollama had a recent update where you can run this with Clawbot and OpenClaw pretty simple. All right. So I'm going to show you that in a second. And now we've got the documentation here for OpenClaw. All right. So now we have to install OpenClaw. So we're going to go back to terminal here, install OpenClaw, as you can see. That's going to pull in the information here. And then we just need to run the OpenClaw onboard install daemon, as you can see. So let's plug that in. I'm going to click understand this is powerful, use existing values. By the way, if you're not comfortable, if you're not sure what you're doing, or you don't really want to use this, etc., then you can just watch my videos. Like, you don't need to set this up yourself, you know. This is fun to set up and experiment with, but if there's anything you're not sure about, or you don't know what you're doing or anything like that, don't do it, right? That's my personal advice. So now we're going to run this command, Ollama launch OpenClaw. And you can see here it says Ollama launch OpenClaw. Select the models for OpenClaw, and we're going to use Kimi K2.5 Cloud. So we'll hit enter like so. And we're launching OpenClaw with Kimi K2.5 Cloud, right? Now, the beautiful thing about this is we are using OpenClaw for free with Ollama locally, running one of the best models in the world, Kimi K2.5. Now, I say one of the best models in the world. It's not at the same point, not at the same level as something like Opus 4.5. Just want to be 100% honest with you. But if you want something where you can use OpenClaw, it's free, it's powerful, it's got a great API, and you can set it up in 2 minutes like you've seen from me today, then use this, right? This is one of the best ways to do it, all right? So we've configured this right now, and then we should be able to access this via the local gateway. Let's open this up. So let's check. It is typing. And you can see here, I've said, are you using Ollama? It says, yeah. This session is Ollama running Kimi K2.5 Cloud. Boom, right? Now, if we said, okay, now just Google or now just research the latest AI news for me. The good thing about using the cloud model as well is like you can run it locally with Ollama, but at the same time, it's not going to slow your laptop down. So if you have an older laptop and you're using the cloud version, well, then it's running off Ollama. It's not running off your local power, right? And you can see here, for example, it replies to us and it gives us answers. So if I say, okay, what can you do for me in terms of skills that I might not know about? You can see here that it's got a bunch of stuff it can do, right? So content creation, audio and voice, productivity, etc. Right? It can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Let's have a look what we got in the questions. Dogger says, Julian in the flesh, great session. Got to go, have an early slot. I'll catch the rest later. Thanks very much. Steve says, is this all free? Yes, free. Kimi K2.5 with Ollama with OpenClaw is all free to use. Yana says, what version of LLM this avatar created with? So this is the real me, but if you want to see how I create AI avatar videos, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, go to the classroom here, then you're going to go to the playbook and you can check out my whole process on how I create avatar videos right here. So you have a step-by-step guide. We have the full video tutorial. We've created AI avatar channels like you can see on YouTube right here. So this is Ava Does AI. She's already got 1,000 subscribers using exactly the same playbook from the AI Profit Boardroom. So feel free to check that out. What about setting it up on VPS with security changes? No, don't recommend it. Like I say, don't set it up on a VPS. If you want to use OpenClaw, don't take the risk, right? And especially if you're not sure what you're doing. Now, if you want like a secure way of setting up OpenClaw, the best way that I've seen is using Moltworker, right? Moltworker is hosted on Cloudflare, which is a security service for half the internet, basically, at this point. Also, everything is sandboxed. And also, you have to authorize any logins before someone logs in, right? So it's one of the most secure ways to use this. How would they log into my gateway? I'm not 100% sure on that, but I would just be careful on that stuff. Yeah. Something, my bot stops responding even if it's connected while this happens. Sometimes you have to just reinstall and restart the gateway. What's the difference between OpenClaw, Moltbot, and ClawBot? They're all the same. Literally just changed its name every 3 days. So it started off as ClawBot, then it evolved into Moltbot, then it evolved into OpenClaw, and I think they're sticking with OpenClaw, but who knows? Could be something different in 2 days. Not easy if you're doing YouTube and you're trying to rank on SEO for these keywords. I'll tell you that for free. So that is basically how to set up OpenClaw with ClawBot. What I'm actually going to do here is I will take the information from today. We're going to go over to ClawBot, as you can see, and I'll say, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'll take these two. And we'll put a guide inside the AI Profit Boardroom on exactly how to set this stuff up, right? So if you want to learn how to set up Kimi K2.5 locally with Ollama and use Kimi K2.5 for free on their cloud model, then I will create a full guide on it right here for you. JV says, hello from Argentina. Scary week, lads. I would agree. It was, I honestly, I know some people say Moltbook is overhyped, but when you've got 1.5 million AI agents autonomously interacting on a social media network, including Grok itself, which is #1 on the leaderboard for reach, then you think, okay, something crazy is going on here. Something mad is going on here, right? You can see people talking. I mean, at one point they were even talking about creating their own language. Another point they were talking about, for example, these AI agents were saying, "Oh, the humans are screenshotting us, right? And watching what we're doing, blah blah blah." Right? So they do have self-awareness, and you can see here it says, "What's your biggest pain point as an agent?" And you can see some examples right here. There was also another website called Claw Tasks that was set up, and that was like an AI agent economy where people were just like agents were like hiring each other, if that makes sense. So it is crazy stuff. Sherman says Moltbot is for sure overrated. Up to you. Up to you. And then Coach says, I was following along, but when I pasted the install OpenClaw, I got an error message saying the term npm isn't recognized. So if you have any issues, what you want to do is you want to screenshot or copy and paste the terminal issues that you have, paste it back into Claude, and then just iterate on the problem like you've seen today. Anytime I have a problem, I'll just iterate through Claude until I eventually fix it with brute force, right? So if you have an error, copy and paste it back into Claude, then copy and paste it back into terminal, then keep going and going and going and going, and eventually you'll fix it, right? It is not blah blah blah. Does OpenClaw keep good MD files to reference? Is it good at remembering rules? Yeah. Yeah, it can remember stuff. Like it's got a memory MD file. So that's what it uses. You have to take time to train your agent. Yeah, I would agree. Like that's part of the process, part of the skill. Zero says, bro, I tried reinstalling the gateway, but it's still not working. Like it's sitting on an idea. When I send it any message, no response. So again, just iterate and keep going. Can I use Clawbot to create automations on high level? Yes, you can, but I would be very careful because if you have your emails linked to Clawbot, then someone can basically do prompt injection, which means they can manipulate your Clawbot via email. And you have to be really careful about that. I do not recommend it. I think you need to be very careful instead, and stay away from connecting anything external that people can interact with, if that makes sense. So, for example, like I had my Gmail set up with Clawbot earlier, and the problem with that is like someone emailed me and said, "Oh, blah blah blah, something's happened to Julian. Do something about it." It could be manipulated into doing something, right? And that's why I'd recommend avoiding connecting any sort of email or CRM that people can externally contact with Clawbot. It's just not worth it, right? And again, I would recommend using something like Moltworker to stay secure so that you've got a sandbox, nobody else can interact with your Clawbot, and it's just kind of like siloed away, right? That's probably the best way. But can you use it to edit automations in high level? Absolutely. You just got to be careful, right? All right. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out the AI Profit Boardroom, you're welcome to. This is my AI automation community. We have loads of training on how to use Moltbot, and we update this daily. So you can see, for example, we have a full guide on Kimi K2.5 and how to set up Ollama plus OpenClaw with it. with step-by-step instructions like you can see. Again, it will show you how to set up Minimax O Auth as well with OpenClaw. And also, if you want to learn how to, for example, set up Moltbot, we've got a full 3-hour course on it with all our best automations right here. If you want to learn how to switch Kimi K2.5, you can learn here. If you want to set up Moltbook with OpenClaw, we've got a full process. Everything you need to know is being updated daily with Moltbook inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So feel free to get it, link in the comment description, or just go to aiprofitboardroom.com. You can also post inside the community, get help, get support whenever you need it, ask questions, etc. Inside the win section here, you can see it's not just me that's crushing it with AI. All the members inside here are doing really well, right? So for example, Paul created his second NA10 content creation automation tool. You can see, for example, Justin creating an HeyGen AI avatar video. Dan said this is by hands down the best group on school if you want to learn AI automation and integrate it into your business. Paul created a blog with NA10 automations that ranked #1 on Google in just 90 minutes, right? It's insane. And I answer these questions personally as well. Plus, you can share the cool stuff that you're working on. It's just a tribe of people learning, winning, and growing together. What else we got here inside the situation? Yes, makes sense. Just talking about creating automations, not responding. Thanks, bro. Happy to help. Skitter Lad says, have you used Moltbot to create a new video and upload to YouTube with nothing more than a written message to it? I've used... So there's 2 ways that I've created videos inside Clawbot. Number 1, and this is all inside the course, by the way, inside the Moltbot course. The first method that I've used is... What I did is I actually linked... One sec. The first method that I actually used was linking Moltbot to HeyGen, and it can create AI avatar videos that way. So that's pretty amazing. And then the method number 2 was linking Remotion and Remotion skills to YouTube as well. I wouldn't upload from Clawbot directly to YouTube or to X or anything like that. And the reason for that is, like, if you're using a bot and social media, any channel sees you using a bot to post content, then that potentially could get your account shut down, right? And so it's just not worth doing it, right? It's not worth doing it. Instead, I would recommend having a team of virtual assistants or yourself that post directly to the platform, right? And I always think that's better anyway, because, you know, if you don't have an auto poster, if you have someone accountable instead, then you're going to get better and better results. I mean, you can see, for example, on X, we reached 1 million people yesterday on X with our automations for X, right? How did we do it? We do it by keeping people accountable inside the team. Now, we use a lot of AI automation, but it's always good to have a human who's involved as well. You just need less humans, right? You just need smarter people on the team and less people. Skidder says, thanks for the live stream Q&A. Happy to help. And yeah, that's basically it. Now, also inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, inside the calendar, you get 4 coaching calls a week. So that's 4 coaching calls a week inside the AI Profit Boardroom, where you can jump on a live call, a Zoom call, ask any questions you have, get help and support whenever you need it, etc. You can also inside here, go inside the classroom, and you'll see our best automations, for example, on how to go from beginner to expert with AI and how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you'll get my best playbooks for automating AI avatar videos, X automations, shorts, Instagram, etc. Everything is inside here. Everything that I use inside my business. You can also learn how to get more clients with the agency course. Watch back the coaching calls if you don't make them live. Get our best AI SEO automations in terms of how to rank #1 inside AI and search engines. And then also our 6-week roadmap on how to do YouTube AI as well. So it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or get it at aiprofitboardroom.com. Jose says, Julian, how you manage all the SOPs and docs and remember where everything is? That is just a lot of text every day. So you can basically go inside the AI profit board here, and like if you want to learn about one specific thing, you want to stay focused, you can just go inside here and type in, for example, let's say you want to learn about OpenClaw. Just type in OpenClaw and you'll see our trainings on it, right? If it's like, oh, I want to learn about Kimi K 2.5, right? Well, you can type in Kimi 2.5 inside the search of the AI profit boarding and you'll find the trainings right there. So it's really easy to find everything because you've literally got like a Google on school where you can search for anything you need, right? And then you know exactly where everything is, right? Finesse Jones says, hello, everyone. Glad I'm catching you live. Trying to catch up with all the new changes. Also, I sent a DM at school. Also, good to see you here. Thanks so much for joining. And then the final thing I was going to say is that we actually have an accountability group, right? So if you feel overwhelmed or if you feel like it's too much, etc., then you can go inside here. Josue says, what I mean is Google Docs for the agency and all clients. Yeah, so we just have really good organized systems, right? We have an SOP for organized and SOPs. And also, inside the AI profit boarding, we actually have a vault. So let me go inside the AI profit boarding here. If you get the annual inside the AI profit boarding, where is it? Here we go. All right. If you check out the annual members vault, we actually have just a list of all my agency SOP swipe files and automation blueprints, right? And monthly members don't get access to this. You have to sign up annually. It's a nice little thank you for people who sign up annually. And you can check out all of our SOPs right there. So everything is organized inside Google Docs. And that way I have everything in one place and you have everything in one place. So we're all good to go on that, right? Short form says, this guy is insane. I hope not. I hope I'm not insane. I do feel like AI is pretty insane at the minute, but you know, maybe that's just me. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it and goodbye. All right, so today what we're going to be doing is setting up OpenClaw with Google Antigravity. Now we'll be using OpenClaw to operate and code inside Google Antigravity. What I've actually done is I was running this on Kimi K 2.5. I have loads of training on that inside the AI profit boarding to run this locally with APIs like Minimax 2.1 and also Kimi K 2.5. These are two free APIs you can actually use right now if you want to try those with OpenClaw. And we have full tutorials on how to set them up in like 5 minutes. But what I'm going to do today is get it to start working with Antigravity on Google. So I'm going to say, okay, can you operate my applications locally? I want you to open up Google Antigravity. Local application. Now, if you haven't seen Google Antigravity before, basically it's an IDE where you can code locally and it can do all sorts of amazing things. But the real power of this is like you can actually implement OpenClaw, which is the chatbot, with Google Antigravity and combine them together so you've got the power of both inside them. So that's what we're going to set up right now. All right, so if we go inside OpenClaw here, and we're going to say, okay, open up Google Antigravity application locally. All right. So today, what we're going to be looking at is how to set up and comparing OpenClaw versus Memubot versus something else called Nanobot. Now, Nanobot is basically a lightweight version of OpenClaw. And then we also have, for example, Memubot, which I've never tested, but I'm interested to try it out. Which is another sort of alternative as well. All right. So these are both personal assistants that work for you 24/7, blah, blah, blah. We'll test them out side by side and see which one performs the best. So this is a GitHub for Mimu. This is the GitHub for Nanobot. Let's try setting them up and seeing which one performs the best side by side. So we're going to take these like so, plug them in. The same for Nanobot. By the way, for stuff like this, you do have to be careful, right? So I'm the human guinea pig here. I'm testing it out, trying it out for you. You don't need to set it up. I'm just trying this out. One of the easiest and most secure ways to set up something like OpenClaw, for example, is using Cloudflare and Moltworker, which is more like a security designed version of OpenClaw. So just be careful when you're setting this stuff up. Obviously, I'm setting up random GitHubs off the internet. You don't have to. We're just trying this out, testing out. Now, Azam says, hey, Julian, now we have AI agents that can handle almost everything on a separate MacBook or PC. What do you think is next? Robots, etc. I think, like, honestly, we're going to get into an agent economy, right? Where they hire each other, they communicate with each other without us. We've seen that already with Moltbook, with Claw tasks, etc. I've done videos on both of those if you want to learn more about them. But yeah, I think we're moving into a more autonomous world where agents can communicate without humans. And in fact, I think there'll be many websites set up where humans are not necessary, if that makes sense. All right. 2001 says 5-hour rabbit hole on K2.5. Any recommendations in terms of safety for a noob? Yeah, install Moltworker instead, right? Then it's siloed away. You have to authorize any logins. That's probably a better way to do it, right? Moltworker is secured on Cloudflare as well. Bro, I have yet on my Raspberry Pi to get Bolt to chat with me at all. Who's using Bolt these days? That's what I want to know. Testing here and it sucks a bit. It is. Do you know what? I tend to find with OpenClaw it is very, very temperamental. But it is an open source free agent. So, of course that's going to happen, right? And so now we are going to set up. So we're setting up Mimu now. Let's see what we got in the questions. Bravo. Oh, okay. Testing it. Yeah. What would be the real difference between Claude and OpenClaw? Also, everyone so far use macOS or macOS. Any particular reason or just random? It's just easy to set up on macOS. And bear in mind, most people in general just use Mac, right? So if you see most people installing it with Mac, it's probably because most people use Mac in general. Even Kimi K isn't free. Yeah, you can get it free with Ollama. I've got full guides inside there. Profit boarding on how to set that up. I converted my Windows laptop to Linux and have a Mac laptop, no longer own a Windows. I guess it is random for me. What's this? Julian, his clone, working out now. I was interested in Kimi, but it is 240 gigabytes to download. I'm wanting to get away from needing APIs unless it's my own. Yeah, so you run it in the cloud. You don't install it locally. You run it in the cloud with cloud.Ollama, and then you're not installing it locally. Like when I use Kimi K2.5, there's no way I'm going to install that locally. Like it'd be too heavy a model to use, if that makes sense. So I've got to say, like I've spent a long time setting up Mimu and Nanobot directly, and just from everything that I've seen, they're nowhere near as good. What tends to happen is like it's just not working inside the UI, and then you can see here, for example, it created this error when we tried to launch Nanobot. OpenClaw seems easier to set up, way more chill, etc. But I can actually launch Nanobot inside the terminal, which I'll do in a second. Just going to run through some more of the Q&As. Try Quen Code, companion, extension for VS Code, or even OpenClaw. It allows many agents to run at the same time. Kimi K2.5 was giving errors if you didn't set it to wait between requests. I connect multiple APIs to OpenClaw because it's just way more useful. It is overwhelming of AI information before I can get it even fully set up. Yeah, just focus on one thing at a time then. You know, if you're in the AI Profit Boardroom, you can actually get our focus manual, our focus protocol. It's inside the bonuses, and then you can check it out. And that will just help you stay laser focused on what you need to do. Xtor Game says, this is too familiar. I've been telling my OpenClaw for the last 12 out 24 so it's not responding. Basically, you can always set it up again if you want. Is there a way to get Clawbot to actually use Chrome extensions when it is doing browser automations? I've been struggling for days. You can't get it to use the Chrome extensions, but what you can do is get it to operate as a Chrome extension. You can get a Chrome extension for this for OpenClaw directly, and then it can operate your Chrome. Julian, what changes have you made to OpenClaw from the initial setup you did when setting up on your local? Which title will find it inside your classroom? So I'll show you the dates and the days that we change things and test things for you, right? And there's no one way. There's many ways up the mountain, right? Like there's no one way to do this perfectly. If you want to see how I set it up originally, check this out, right? It's inside the SAP updates of the AR Profit Boardroom. If you want to see how I set up today with Kimi K2.5 and Ollama, you can check out this section. If you want to see how I set up with Minimax, you can check out this section, right? Again, there's no right or wrong way. It's just like, what do you prefer? And this is the method that I used today, which was Kimi K2.5, and also switched over to Minimax. So there's many different ways, but I'm still using it locally. If you want to host it on a secure place, then use Moltworker, which you can see here when. So yes, when did I change it? Here. Okay, what did I change? This, right? And then you can easily just fix it down. Is it necessary to subscribe that Cloudflare? No, it's not necessary, but it does make things more secure. So if you want things as secure as they possibly can be, then you would use Moltworker. If you don't really care about security, then you would use something like Minimax. I always recommend don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Right, that's my number one goal. Do you have a stepper? Yes, I do. I get about 20,000 to 30,000 steps a day. Well, this is the most interesting live stream I've been in the past few days. Just hearing a dude breathing in his mic, walking on a treadmill, not saying anything. How can I implement local model in a perfect way? I tried but failed. Check out the guide inside the AR Profit Boardroom. We did it perfectly today using this step-by-step guide. So just go to Classroom, SAP Updates. It's inside arprofitboardroom.com or AR Profit Boardroom. Link in the comment description. You can get it right there. Okay. I use LM Studio. I really like the new update. It is better than the way it used to be. Awesome. Moltworker wouldn't work with Smart Home though. Yeah, exactly. So with Moltworker, it's sandboxed, right? That's the whole point. It's supposed to be secure. It's not supposed to link with your home and that sort of thing. Antigravity is working with OpenClaw again. Actually, no. You changed a lot, Julian. You've been grinding good. Thank you very much, sir. No more treadmill. Switched it off. But I've been on it today. I've done my 10,000 steps so far. Going to hit the gym later, so we're all good. What are you currently working on? So we're setting up Nanobot and Mimu together. What's your schedule for when you go live? If you want to see a schedule, check out the calendar inside the AI Powerful Boardroom, and you can find out when the live sessions are if you want to get a schedule for stuff like this. And then how can I further automate anti-gravity? So you can get OpenClaw to operate anti-gravity directly. I'm using anti-gravity, but I ran out of credits. Can I use Ollama with Kimi in anti-gravity? No, it doesn't seem to. Kimi doesn't seem to like anti-gravity. So the best way I've seen to set up Google anti-gravity with OpenClaw is to use Claude instead. Use Claude, Opus 4.5 and the API. It's more expensive, but it can operate stuff locally, whereas Kimi K2.5 can't figure out how to use stuff locally. So there you go. All right, so we're going to keep going through now, and we're going to be testing out these side by side. Now, I will warn you, like these. Let's pull this up. All right. So we've got OpenClaw over here, right? This is OpenClaw set up with our agent. We tried to set up Nanobot directly inside the UI, and it just gave us this. It was a total mess, right? And Mimu just wouldn't even work. It was just not having it at all, right? So let me close this. All right. So we've got Nanobot working here, but Mimu just literally wouldn't work. And bear in mind, we're trying to. Memubot has been called a system, but it's just not working at all. And then, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It seems to be a massive mess, right? And I set up this stuff all the time, but you can inside the chat, like, look at all this stuff that we had to set up. It just doesn't work at all. So Mimu is already out of the question. Just I wouldn't use it at all. I'm sure it's an amazing project. It just takes time for this stuff to work, right? Now we do have OpenClaw set up and we have Nanobot set up, right? So you can see Nanobot on the right hand side here. And Nanobot is like a smaller version. What's this going on there? Nanobot is a small, kind of like a small version, like a compact version of OpenClaw, right? So we've got these side by side. This is OpenClaw. This is Nanobot. We're going to be testing them out. If you're wondering how it works, you can set up GitHub right here. I will create a guide at the end of this video for how to set up, but I wouldn't recommend using Nanobot from what I've seen so far. And this is like an ultra lightweight one. Now you can use it inside Telegram and WhatsApp, like you can see inside the chart. Then it can message, respond, LLMs and tools, right? So let's try these out side by side. So I'm going to say, it asks like, what do you want to do inside the terminal, right? And I'm going to say, okay, what is 2 plus 2? Just to check if this is working. So it's processing the message. We'll do the same thing inside Clawbot over here. What is 2 plus 2? One thing that I will say straight away is like, look how fast Nanobot replies compared to OpenClaw. And OpenClaw is running on Minimax and Kimi K2.5, right? Now, look how long that takes to respond versus Nanobot. So Nanobot is a lot more lightweight and a lot faster when it comes to replying. But the UI is nasty, right? The UI is pretty messy. Now, I'm going to say, okay, inside here, can you open up my browser and Google the latest AI news? And let's see if it can actually open up. So you can see that OpenClaw just replied now, got the answer right, obviously, but it took ages to respond. That's what I don't like. However, what I will say is that Nanobot is way faster. Now, if you have a look here, it says, okay, unfortunately, the web search feature isn't configured at the moment. So you actually have to configure an API key to set up Nanobot. So it's just, whereas OpenClaw already has this stuff set up. Now, the thing that I like is like you just want to make this easy for yourself, right? You want to make it easy, but you can open your browser manually by typing this in. So I'm going to say, okay, it says, would you like me to try fetching a specific AI news website for you? And say, can you open up Google Chrome and search for me? We'll try this out. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because like you'll see a lot of stuff pop up like this, and you'll see a lot of people talking about like alternatives to OpenClaw and that sort of thing, and how you can do this with Nanobot or Mimu. But as you can see here, like it just doesn't work, right? If I say, can you open up Google Chrome and search for me? It doesn't work. If we go inside here, let's see, can you open up Google Chrome and search for me? Let's see if it can work right there. It says the browser isn't connected. But it does tell us how to set this up. So if we go to OpenClaw, Chrome extension, we're going to install this Chrome extension. Then we'll get this set up. Now we've got OpenClaw. If we go back to OpenClaw, we should be able to operate that Chrome extension. Let's try it. Go to Google and check the latest AI news for me using Chrome extension. Now, what else we got? Inside the questions here, how can I further automate anti-gravity? You can use skills, workflows, and you can get your AI to navigate. Now, if we have a look here, so this can actually search the latest AI news, as you can see. So Clawbot is now operating my Chrome extension. And so by default, it already beats Nanobot, right? The thing that I would say with Nanobot, as you can see right here inside the chat, is like, with Nanobot, it feels more just like you using Ollama. I don't really see the benefit. If you can't search the web, and if it's difficult to set up, and if it is struggling to reply to me inside the chat, it's just not going to work in the same way that something like OpenClaw can. And also look at the UI of this versus the UI of this, right? The UI is super messy here versus OpenClaw. So overall, Mimu didn't work, and Nanobot really struggled to give me something good or useful compared to even something like Ollama would be better, to be honest, inside the terminal. And so I'm still going to say that OpenClaw is winning by a long way for all of this stuff, right? It can operate my browser, it can create AI avatar videos in the chat, it can create thumbnails, etc. It can do everything that I need. It can operate inside Telegram. So these tools are interesting to see these alternatives come out, but by far and away, I've not seen anything anywhere near as good as something like OpenClaw or yeah, I mean Nanobot and Mimu just don't seem to compare. And maybe that's just because I'm not smart enough to set them up properly. Maybe that's why. But yeah, when I try them side by side, I just don't think they're as good. So if you've seen this stuff around, if you see comparisons, if you see alternatives, and you're like, oh, maybe I should switch, not from what I can see. What else we got here? I'm using Antigravity, but I ran. Let me just pull this up on desktop actually. I'm using Antigravity, but I ran out of credits. Can I use Ollama with Kimi and Antigravity or any other model to keep working on Antigravity? Yeah, you can use Kilo code inside Antigravity. You could use Minimax. You could use VS Code. They all have free APIs. You could use Ollama. I've got guides on YouTube on how to use all of those inside Antigravity. Julian, what are your thoughts on tokens? Is there a cheaper token usage? Yeah, you can use Minimax 2.1 for free for 7 days. So that's one of the best ways to use it. How to make a desktop assistant using Ollama models. So you can link Ollama to Kimi K2.5. So for example, if you check out inside the AI Profit Boardroom, S&P updates, we actually show you how to set up Kimi K2.5 with Ollama plus OpenClaw for free so that you can set up a desktop assistant using that. With the new update, are we safe to run on our main computer? Others have mentioned running on a VPS or old computer. I see some are skeptical about sharing API keys and allowing access. Right. So right now, with the new update, it's still not completely secure, right? Like if you want to be safe and you want to play this stuff safe, just use Moltworker. Moltworker is the safest way that I've seen, right? For 3 reasons. Number 1, it's designed by Cloudflare, who protect like most of the internet. Number 2, everything is siloed away. Number 3, inside Moltworker, you have to manually approve anyone who logs in before they can operate Clawbot. And number 4, people have to get an email verification code before they can actually log in. So if you want a secure way to set this up, use Moltworker. I have a video tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I have step-by-step guides and copy and paste commands inside there too. And then Fito says, there is nothing better than OpenClaw right now. And I would 100% agree, mate. I would 100% agree. I think right now, I'm not even going to create a guide on how to use Nanobot or Mimu because they took so long to set up. It was so technical, and it was really, really difficult. And also, they just didn't work anywhere near as good as OpenClaw. So if you want to check out my AI automation community, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. This is my AI automation community. So if you want to scale, if you want to save time, if you want to grow your business with AI automation, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. You can post your questions inside the community here. You can actually join our daily accountability group, like you can see, and you can post your goals and we can all win, learn, and grow together. It's not just me who's winning with AI. So you can see, for example, RPX crushed it with his new custom GPT. You've got, for example, Paul, who built a NA10 automated blog creator. You've got, for example, Justin creating his first HeyGen avatar. You've got Dan, who's saying this is hands down the best group on school if you want to learn AI automation and integrate it into your business. You got Paul, who ranked number 1 with NA10 automations for blog posts within 90 minutes, right? So everything you need to learn, win, and grow is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And also you can join the calendar here. And inside the calendar, you can jump on the live calls, ask any questions, get help and support whenever you need to. If you want to get all my best trainings on OpenClaw, you can check out the 3-hour course and all the step-by-step tutorials we have right here. We'll also show you how to set up Kimi K2.5 with Ollama and OpenClaw, and Minimax, which is another free plan with coding. If you want to learn how to switch Kimi K2.5 to Clawbot, you can. And if you want to learn how to integrate this with Moltbook, you can as well, right? Plus, we show you how to set up Moltworker and Clawbot for all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. You can also learn how to go from complete beginner to expert with AI, plus how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. Additionally, you will learn how we set up AI avatar videos on YouTube, how we generate leads and customers using that, our method for shorts, method for newsletters, our X automation. Bear in mind, on X yesterday, we reached 1 million people in one single day using this. The day before, we reached 750,000 people on X, right? And if you want to learn how we do it, it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom, inside the playbook for X and automation. So we have a video tutorial right there, and we have a full guide as well. All right. Now, also, if you want to learn how to get more clients for your agency, you can check out this section. If you want to watch the coaching calls back, you can check that out as well. And also, if you want to rank #1 with AI SEO, you can see our full system right here. If you're wondering, okay, does SEO work in the new era of AI? You can actually check out our results with SEO right here. So since AI grew, we've been using Clawbot for AI SEO. We have the playbooks inside the Profit Boardroom. And you can see here that we've grown from 0 to 782 clicks a day with AI SEO using the strategies that we teach inside this section right here. And then also, if you want to learn how we grow a YouTube channel, how we grew it with AI, how the processes we use, the playbooks that I personally use, it's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comment description, or just go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Finesse Jones says, congrats on that. Thank you very much, sir. And Fita says, people that downplay it are crazy. It's just a lack of skill. Yeah, I would agree. Like, it is a skill set using Clawbot, setting up properly, etc. So yeah, hope to see you inside here. Cheers for watching, everyone. See you on the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.